just 14 days away from the World Cup when they announced the roster. And so we talked a little bit about that. We talked a little bit about maybe the omissions that happened or maybe the surprises. And how at this point it was about 2 weeks ago. So, we are so pumped for the World Cup. And it's this time of the year. The World Cup is always where the U.S. Women's National Team puts out so much content with the women, with the players, them about the training, interviews, things. And I always get so excited. That's one of the things I love, not the most about the World Cup, is like these interviews and this content.
Oh, yeah, it's the best.
It's so fun. I even remember back in 2011, and I think they did it in
was I even born then? Oh my gosh.
They did this interview series during the World Cup called like Studio 90 with this guy Mark. I'm not quite sure who Mark was. I believe he was with US Soccer of some type, but he would interview the players, and it was so like fun. And Megan Rapinoe and Lori Lindsey had like this chat show almost, and it was so fun. And I remember like being so excited to watch those videos in particular, that I just love the content that comes out during a big tournament, because the players were everywhere. Some of these players are going to be household names that some people never had heard about before the tournament,
Right, yeah.
So one of the things that happened that we actually didn't talk about in the last video, we talked about the players maybe who didn't make it, but a lot of the players who did make it, and one of the content we saw was them getting the phone call that they got it. And
very emotional.
That was really, really cool. And if you look at some of the calls, like I remember like specifically like the Kelley O'Hara call, she was very emotional on it.
Tell the truth, did you cry with any of the calls?
I think I did cry.
Got a little misty-eyed, a little teary-eyed?
I cried when they started crying, because Kelley O'Hara, I think a lot of people thought she was on the bubble, and I think she thought she was on the bubble, and I think some people think, even though positionally it's not exactly the same, but some people think if Becky was on the team, maybe Kelley wouldn't have gotten the call. And so she was really emotional. You could see how much it meant to her, because she didn't know, and so that call, she was crying.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we don't see her cry often.
It's a beautiful moment.
Beautiful criers, by the way.
And then we saw someone like Alex Morgan, who got the phone call, and she said, it never gets, most people, she was pretty much a lock for the team. Yeah. And she knows that too, that she's pretty much a lock. That she goes, it never gets old, every single time going to the World Cup, it doesn't mean any less going the third time, the fourth time.
Exactly.
And they don't have everyone's, but like a Casey Murphy who got her call, she was, I wouldn't say a lock, but one of the most lockiest, one of the players who was most...
One of the lockiest.
One of the players that was pretty much a lock, I would say. But she was pumped, even though maybe she knew it was coming. Obviously, like a Kristie who got the call, who was definitely a bubble player.
She was a good crier.
Beautiful crier.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And I wasn't expecting her to cry. And maybe it was because it meant so much to her, because she was maybe even surprised of herself that it came out, because she's so not a crier like that.
Yeah.
Because she totally was a bubble player, because, we had talked about Ashley Hatch not being on the roster. Ashley Hatch had been invited to every camp since, I believe, after the Olympics. So she had been to every camp. Kristie, I believe, had been to every camp too. So Ashley gets that call of, no, you're not going to make it, and Kristie gets a call that, yes, you are. It's just such an emotional, such a terrifying, such a emotional roller coaster that all these players had to go on.
Sofia Huerta.
She cried on her call. I mean, obviously, it means so much. Lindsey, everyone's emotional. Lindsey, Lynn. It meant so much to Lynn, because she was so close to making the World Cup last time, and she made it. So these are the moments I love. I mean, this is one thing I love about the World Cup, these moments. Also, I don't know how many of these you saw, Sara. They had these paints with me. They had like the easel, and they had the names, and so the players were supposed to paint. And it was Meet the World Cup players. And, a lot of the players we know a lot about. We know a lot about Alex Morgan. We know a lot about Crystal Dunn. We know the players who've been there. But then again, we are learning a lot about them, things I didn't know. Rose, I did not know that. They asked them a bunch of questions. Some things we found out were Rose has a favorite color. She goes, she never knew how to answer that. So green is her favorite color. Or like Andi Sullivan, her one talent she wishes she had was whistling, a really loud whistle, which I can understand.
I'm sorry, me and her just grew closer. Hello, we have the same eye freckle.
Oh, you wish you could whistle louder?
Same birthday.
And then I didn't know this, Alyssa Nair, she actually wanted to be a basketball player.
I could see that.
Yes.
Weirdly.
So it's kind of like, I didn't realize she was such a basketball talent. Apparently her dad coached basketball.
This is a listener. I think she can do everything, okay?
Yeah, and then, exactly. And then Emily Fox, we learned that she and her sister have a matching fox tattoo.
Whoa.
Isn't that cool?
Foxy.
And they want their brother to get it, like, to complete the set of sibling tattoos. And then we found out Naomi Grima, she used to do gymnastics, which I love. I love gymnastics.
Ooh.
And that she loves Abbott Elementary. That's her. That's what show she's binging or just binged.
Of course, greatest show.
Yeah,
so funny. I will be watching it when I'm eating, and I will be screaming from laughter.
Sarah loves that show.
Literally, cackling, screaming.
Sarah loves that show. So we found out a lot. So these are the things I love. These are the moments I love. Obviously, yes, the playing, the excitement of playing, but these get to know yas. These behind the scenes. I don't think they have the Interview Studio 90 show anymore at the World Cup, but they have like the Behind the Crests episodes still that they do. So those are going to be coming up probably. But one thing we did want to talk about, we saw this article the other day and we thought it was very interesting because we talk about, it's exciting. We're going to watch it, but who's going to win the World Cup? Obviously we want America. Sarah and I want the U.S. Women's National Team to win. But it's kind of... but it's kind of like, what are people saying?
Yeah, so the other day I came across this on Instagram. Just Women's Sports had posted, FIFA 23 predicts the U.S. Women's National Team to win the 2023 World Cup. Okay, so EA Sports FIFA 23, they are predicting that the U.S. will win the Women's World Cup. And they actually correctly predicted the last 4 men's World Cups winners. It was in 2010, it was Spain, 2014, Germany, 2018 was France, and Argentina was in 2022. This is from ESPN. With the game's tournament updates, including a detailed database and freshly recalibrated player ratings available to users from the end of June, EA Sports ran the full competition, all 64 games, from the group stage to the grand finale in Sydney in order to ascertain the overall winner. The results? United States Women's National Team, sounds weird when you say it like that, U.S. Women's National Team met Germany in the final, with the U.S. Women's National Team going on to lift the trophy after a 4-2 win.
I would not have predicted that scoreline, but...
What a prediction.
I mean, it seems like a very complicated way that they figured that out, and if they have 100% accuracy, I mean, I'm in it. I believe this.
Yeah, the fact that the last 4 times they've accurately predicted the winners, that, I don't know, I'm feeling good about this.
Yeah. You agree with this prediction? Do you think it's going to be United States versus Germany in the final?
I think it very well could be.
Okay. Right. And, Germany's very hungry right now. Very, very, came so close in the Euros last year. Some people think bad refereeing decided that game in some respects. So the Telegraph has this game predictor on their website, and it's really easy. You just click to who you think are going to win for each group, and then the quarters and the semis. I did mine, and I did my predictor, and my final 4 came in as United States versus Spain in the semifinals, and Australia versus Germany in the semifinals, and I have it same kind of thing, USA versus Germany, and I think USA is going to win. But there was the game, match 60. It was the quarterfinals. My 2 teams were England versus Germany in match 60 for the quarterfinals. And I went with Germany. I think England's such a strong team, but I think Germany is so hungry. And also, for the semifinals, USA versus Spain, based on the way I predicted it, I think it's going to be USA, even though Spain is such a strong team. So, and then Australia versus Germany in the semifinals, which was my prediction. Australia is going to be tough to beat at home. So it's going to be exciting. The expert is saying United States based on their predictions, and I'm with it. I'm for it.
Yeah, I know, like, a lot of people were like, no way that could happen.
Right.
Like, not believing that prediction could come true.
And also, even if United States really on paper, people don't think they're going to win, us as Americans, we still are going to say America's going to win. We have to.
I'm impartial here, okay?
So what do you guys think? If you want to go to that predictor Predictor too. It's on the Telegraph website. Maybe I'll try to link it down below. But yeah, it should be exciting. I mean, the send-off game is on the 9th. So we're super pumped for that. And yeah, what do you guys think? Do you guys think this simulation or simulator? What do you think? Do you think this EA Sports prediction is correct, or do you think it's biased? What do you think? Because I want to hear what you
think. Is it accurate?
Yeah.
Should we ask AI what they think?
Yes. What do you guys think? Questions, comments down below. We'll talk to you later. Have a great night. Bye.
Okay.